So I asked the question, are you better than a child molester? I've discovered over the 30 years of counseling, the one thing that's missing, and I think because it's not taught in the homes or talked about, we don't have examples of it, right, is love. Our theme this year is to bring back Christianity, to love God with all our heart, soul, and might, our neighbor as ourselves, and to endure. And when you're in a fallen state, people will judge the molester but think they're better than the molester. And I ask, well, why do you think you're better? When I realized it doesn't matter what you think about yourself or how much you have or don't have or how you accomplish things in life or don't. If you have no love, you have nothing. Isn't he Mexican?
Colombian.
He calls himself American.
What is this?
Anchor Baby.
And in this corner, it's the American Anchor Baby.
Daddy's home.
That's an offensive term. People find that hurtful.
You mean it's not politically correct? Excuse me. I'll use the word anchor baby. You know, he's an anchor baby in Canada.
Tell him we still rolling with Trump, too.
Anchor baby, the whole thing sounds horrific. You're just making it sound like immigrants are these horrific, greedy people.
Ustedes pueden aceptar mi negocio o aceptar las consecuencias. Plata o plomo.
So you would be considered white, in my opinion.
You the blackest one in this room.
I think so.
And what happened was his mama got pregnant on the other side of the border. And then a few hours before, just before it was time for him to pop out, she jumped across the border and let him fall on American soil. So he became the anchor baby. You don't call him the anchor baby for nothing. Amazing.
We like this anchor baby, right?
Hello, I'm the American Anchor Baby, and this is my show. Thank you for tuning in. Appreciate you all rolling in from Joel's chat. About to get started here, as we do, on this fine Monday. Moving around my mic. And I appreciate everybody who was with me over the weekend. You know, we have those great flights, amazing flights. We landed. You know, that's always a great flight when you land, you know? And people get off the plane alive. It's fantastic. And we had a great landing. Went manual. I mean, like, pretty hardcore. I'm talking full controls of a big old A320neo. We landed that. So it was a nice show. Appreciate the callers, everybody who joined me. You don't want to miss them. If you never caught one, we fly on Fridays. So hit the subscribe, hit the like, you know what to do. Maybe you don't like what you see. Leave a comment. All appreciated here. Or I will try, right? We'll try not to lose our... I learned that means to get angry. Or at least it used to mean that. To lose your religion. How you doing, everybody? Bob in the house. Kale Internet. Manster. Charlie Chutch. People keep correcting me on that, but I'm clearly reading it right here. It says Charlie Chutch. Flat Earth Victory. How you doing, Hake? We got mods in the chat in your best behavior. JB Live, Nessio, Kevin. I see some names who are with us over the weekend. Nice. Well, Friday. But that's pretty much kicking off the weekend, right? Some of you kick it off with the Anchor Baby. And, you know, I got a couple of things on my mind today. We're going to be updating you a little bit on important things. The saga, Ukraine war. Nope. But also there's some other things I want to get to. There's people who are having a tough time in life. It's a hard knock life. They're having a hard time. It's too hard to make money. You can't even live. They call it a living wage. Why won't they give it to them? We'll get into many things, okay? I appreciate you being with me. And you can call in to show, I don't know, whatever you want to show. 888-775-3773. We have call screeners. Let them handle the moderating. You do the calling. I'll do the talking. That's what we do. What's up? How you doing, Yes Gunner? I appreciate that. Nick jealous. He can't see the solar eclipse. I think it already had. Well, maybe I'm a little jealous. You talking about the total eclipse? Because yeah, I definitely can't see that, right? We're seeing only partial eclipses. I didn't even catch any of that. I went to the front of the office, kind of like crooned my head over, and I thought to myself, this video of this black woman talking about looking at the eclipse for 10 seconds with one eye, just like 10 seconds. And she has like a lasting damage. Now, I don't know if... I'm trying to remember something. Let me see if maybe Google remembers. Does Trump look at the eclipse? How to watch the 2024. Look, of course, the mainstream media. I should have looked this up before I went on the air. It's amazing to see it, though, MSNBC. How to not watch a solar eclipse, courtesy of Donald Trump. I remember some controversy. You know, maybe this video of this black woman I saw. You know, she does. You know, they say. He doesn't have DNA. He has USA. So that might be a cause. That might be something to do with it. I know you're going to get mad at me. I'm talking about genetics and black people, but you're not understanding me. I'm just making jokes. I'm sorry. I waded into deep waters here, and I didn't expect to do that. But Donald Trump, I remember so, you know, they plaster the picture here. Now that I look it up, might as well show you. Wait, hold on. Oh, thanks, little Nick. Might as well show you. He's pointing out. Look at the doofus. So I don't know what to tell you. I'm not going to tell you to look at it. But what was I telling you? I may be jealous. Yes, Gunner. I may be jealous. I've never seen a total eclipse, but that's okay. I think I'll live. I'm seeing images. I'm seeing pictures. You know, I don't know if they're photoshopped, but I'm looking at these. How you doing, Court? Adolphus. That's a name I've never seen, I don't think. But okay, so eclipses. All these eclipses. There's a saga that I wanted to kind of update you on. You know, we're going to get some news here, okay? After this, I got some stuff you might find interesting, but we're going to start off with getting informed here a little bit, okay? What's going on here? I've been following a saga a little bit here in Congress. You've heard about it. They're trying to fund it. You heard of, remember that? Wait, Nick, have they funded it? What's going on? You know the saga a little bit. Goes back to Kevin McCarthy remembering some of these names. Marjorie Taylor Greene. We're remembering the Freedom Caucus. These are important. Kind of goes back really to the beginning of Trump. It really does go back there. It all goes back there. All roads lead back to Trump. So, 2015, they create this Freedom Caucus. They're like, we're going to be the freedom people. We're going to atomize and divide for good, at least was their stated goals, right? So Freedom Caucus, these are members, these are representatives of Congress who've, you know, they're divided as in Democrat and Republican, I'm sure you know, but even amongst the parties, there's disagreement. So this is Kevin McCarthy's name is actually one that goes back even then when in the creation of this Freedom Caucus. Kevin McCarthy had tried to be speaker before. So if you don't know, if you don't remember, maybe a little bit of a recap of the saga. You remember Kevin McCarthy getting kicked, right? Ousted. And it was what kicked off these events, like the New Yorker recaps here. For y'all, you know, read it, well-read people who need bibliographic type people. You need a source. Okay, how Kevin McCarthy defied the Freedom Caucus and averted a shutdown. You can check it out. Look, how they review it there. If you remember, he turned on this Freedom Caucus. The same Republicans who worked out something with him. They're like, all right, we're going to give you, I know you want to be speaker, but we need a border. We need things to work out. And so that's how the fight broke out. Okay, this kicked off the events that set up this new House, this Speaker of the House, Mike Johnson, okay? Since its creation in 2015, its members have warred with GOP leadership, moving to oust John Boehner. I don't know if that's how you say it. It looks like Boeing. So I'm saying Boehner. Thank you, sir. I'm probably not the only one who's done that. Blocking McCarthy's bid to succeed him, I hope, and then antagonizing Paul Ryan after he took over. Look, I'm talking about a saga that's been going back. I'm trying to describe some of the egos at play. Stop. Grow up. This is really a continuation of an internal struggle in the Republican Party, okay, which really goes back to Trump. This massive gravitational force that appeared, which caused a awakening of sorts, especially amongst the people, on basic things like the border. They're illegal, like he said. And so what you're seeing with this saga, with the Speaker of the House, is this political football of these egos seemingly at play. That's what it really seems like to me. You got Marjorie Taylor Greene. You remember MAGA mom? Marjorie Taylor Greene, she was part of the same Freedom Caucus. You might not remember this. But she, too, has bad blood with the Freedom Caucus. Marjorie Taylor Greene officially kicked out of Freedom Caucus. This was back in, last year, July. And if you remember, it's specifically because of her support of Kevin McCarthy, who at the time was butting heads, right? They're like, this guy's establishment. We need freedom. We're the Freedom Caucus. Boehner. And so you're following so far. You're seeing the egos at play, hopefully a little bit. You're seeing the saga that continues. Does anyone care for the public, the basic things like safety, border, etc.? No, it's just back-to-back fights for more funding for the wars, etc. If you don't remember or were following, Mike Johnson became the speaker. You're like, okay, well, what happened with that? I don't know. They narrowly avoided shutdown this past March, okay, which has Marjorie Taylor Greene heated to this day, as I've heard said before. Greene keeps alive campaign to oust Johnson. So the new thing here that's going on is this possible Mike Johnson ouster. More political football, in my opinion, because remember, I'm taking few key points here, specifically, like, for example, what do we get out of supporting Kevin McCarthy? It was the inevitable, some say inevitable. I wasn't that in tune with politics like that, but I saw what happened at the end. Kevin McCarthy got ousted. He was warned. He was told, hey, I believe the agreement was the Freedom Caucus basically reserves the right to just oust him, to start a vote whenever, keep him on a tight leash. And they did. So what has really come out of this? The fights continue. And here's the story continuation here. Mike Johnson, this is from CNN. Johnson confronts most significant threat to his speakership to date as key decisions over Ukraine aid loom. House Speaker Mike Johnson facing down yet another pivotal week as he confronts both the threat of an ouster and mounting pressure to decide whether he will finally move ahead on aid to Ukraine. See, it goes back to this war aid. It's really the big chess pieces you notice in every article. It's what's blocking it. It's what's motivating stuff. Okay, anyways. The issue for Johnson remains that any aid to Ukraine will need a large number of Democratic votes. Creating legislation that could attract enough Democratic support to get Ukraine across the finish line and included funding for Israel could be difficult, especially in the wake of an Israeli strike that killed World Central Kitchen aid workers last week. Following the strike, more Democrats have signaled they are open to attaching conditions to aid for Israel, a dynamic that could complicate future efforts to approve aid through Congress. Okay, so they're also confronting major issues. They're confronting this impeachment against Alejandro Mayorkas. I've said, I halfway mentioned the other day. Just seemed like, well. Is anyone really, any real fire behind this? I don't know. It's like, we're going to get, hey, Biden is evil and look at the border and we're going to get this guy, this low-level Ponzi guy. It really does. If you remember some of my reporting from some weeks ago, it really does come. It's orders that come down from the top. Yeah, Alejandro Mayorkas could maybe. I was remarking then that maybe he could do the good citizen thing and deny unlawful orders, but it really is coming down from Biden. Okay, so they're confronting all that. The key question when the House returns is whether and when a vote will be triggered to remove the speaker. In March, Greene filed a motion to oust Johnson in March. I was telling you that about a moment ago. Surprise move that came amid conservative anger over the speaker's handling of the government funding fight. Biden signing like $1 trillion for this. But that motion still needs to be called up on the floor to force a vote. So yeah, the Freedom Caucus, they're saying they want to keep it tough here. They're even being tough with this bridge thing. Biden's saying he wants to fund the rebuilding of this Francis Scott Key Bridge, and the Freedom Caucus actually kind of showing, in my opinion, maybe I'm a layman, in my opinion, showing some pirate political tactics, which might be maybe frowned upon. I don't know, but that's how the left operates. Look, they're saying fine, we'll go along with you, Biden. You want to rebuild the bridge? Great and dandy. We need that bridge. But look, seek maximum liability from the foreign shipping companies up front. It's their fault. They better pay for it, okay? Freedom Caucus sounding a little Trumpish. Okay, they're going to pay for it. I promise you. The Baltimore port draws upon already available federal funds. Okay, so I'm just remarking on some of the news here, okay? But here's what I wanted to mention. I mean, here's the numbers they're putting out. Full government will now be funded through the end of September. After Congress passed a previous $459 billion tranche of money earlier this month, the total spending level for the fiscal year is $1.65 $1.59 trillion. I'm not sure how to even imagine that kind of money, but sure, it is a lot, okay? I mean, I can write the zeros out, okay? But I'm just saying. And it was, okay, significance. Well, it's significant for the funding for the war, implications of the economy. I see these images. It's tough for some people. You know, a common thing I used to hear, I don't really hear much anymore, is how much of government spending, federal spending, you know, they break it up, mandatory and the other one. But when you break it all up and you add it up, it's a lot, like an overwhelming, I know it's more than half, it's an overwhelming a lot, like 60+% of all government spending is just programs, welfare, giving it away, aid. Who knows how much corruption is in that? It's been time after time we've seen all these aid programs, well, usually they're foreign aid programs, that come out like corrupt. Wasn't it, which one was the one during Trump? Puerto Rico? Was it Puerto Rico? Puerto Rico. Anyways, I'm so relaxed. I'm slumping down on my chair. Look, okay. Ain't nobody more relaxed. It's all going crazy, but don't go crazy. It's a hard knock life. And you could call in 888-775-3773. I'm telling you that it's significant, but at the same time, I mean, it's informative, right? That's what's going on. They want to go to war. They want to give the money. The Americans are like still, yet again, whether it's left or right, it's like Democrat or Republican. Nobody loves America. It's immigration, let them in. It's all sorts of stuff, right? They'll show you these videos of Philadelphia in the streets, and they're out there addicted. And they're like zombies, like, you know what I mean? Just standing. They can still stand, but they're like buckled over. And they wake up in the drive-through there. And then the caption is like, and meanwhile, Congress just approved blah, blah, blah for Ukraine, Israel. Throw a little bit this way, huh? How about you get some of those billions? Get some of those billions, drive into Skid Row, and just buckets, okay? And just that's already better, right? That's already better than just giving it to these wars. That might end world hunger or something. Okay, I'm being ridiculous. I'm being silly. I'm being ridiculous. I got to say that I grew up in my life, and I don't know if I always knew this or thought like this, but I think I always had this kind of notion and feeling, and I'm just kind of putting words to it, that I hear about, how it used to be and stuff, but I only know kind of like my life. And I started living, like I started working because I wanted my own money. I didn't have any responsibilities, but I wanted money. I started working. I got a job at McDonald's. I then started a combination of self-inflicted wounds in a sense, and stuff, got me living alone. So now I'm forced to like pay rent, to like pay for things, but you still had to do it. And I just had to do it. Okay. I'm not even making any point, but I'm definitely not saying this for you to feel bad or anything. I just want to make that clear. But look, I need you to see this video. Because maybe you'll understand me a little bit. What's on my mind? Yeah, because I've only had my life, right? Nick, it's hard to live. It's hard to live out here in LA. You know how much a single bedroom apartment is, man? It's like $1,500 more, $1,600 for one to live by myself. I want to move out, Nick. I hear. In fact, I had someone call me, reach out to me. I want you to see this video, okay? Let's watch this beautiful footage. Hold on. 1, to... Oh, is it unmuted? Yes, it is. Let's watch this video.
Can somebody explain to me in crayon-eating terms why I make over 3 times the federal minimum wage and I cannot afford to live?
Explain it.
I do not want to hear the pull yourself up from your bootstraps, work 90 hours a week. That's not the goal, guys.
No, it's not the goal. It should not
be our standard.
Agreed. Should not be our standard.
I'm tired of people being complacent with this uniparty, both of them fucking us over. When my parents were my age, they both made less than half of what I make, and they lived alone. I cannot afford to live anywhere alone. A 1-bedroom apartment, $1,800. 2-bedroom apartment.
This generation is locked out of living on their own.
Who the
Darn.
can afford that? It is embarrassing to come out and say that it is a struggle to survive right now. But
I'm sorry, dude. I feel for you.
People are struggling. And do not get me started on what my grandparents were doing. They $3,000 house. And yes, I understand inflation and all of the bullshit that they have been pulling with the Fed. Why are we allowing it?
Why are we allowing it?
And then I clock out of my shift.
Him?
I am
big one coming up
I
here.
have to go home, and I check the news. Another 60 billion to a country nobody can find out on a map. What are we doing? Where has the plot gone?
We've lost the plot, folks. It's just plot lost. Plot lost. I don't know what to tell you. You know, I was expecting more. Beta kid and beta boomer. Nice, Carlota. Vote better. Dude, don't look old enough to grow a mustache. 90 hours a week isn't that much. Stop itching. Stop itching, okay? You're so itchy. Christ Conquers says, that's nothing, LOL. Christ Conquers, you silly mustachioed person. And I was expecting a little bit more sympathy, actually. To be fair, I really did. I was expecting some, at least even some. Agreed, guy. Actually, there's someone's agreeing with this guy, huh? This libtard finally woke up. Are you saying this guy's making sense? Maybe he's not even wrong about some stuff here. But did you even, like... I don't even get to go hard on my chat right now because you guys are going hard on him. It doesn't sound like anyone's feeling bad for him. Anger is beta. You're absolutely correct, Court. He fishing for a handout like a dang liberal. Lord Bibby says he works 7 days a week, 2 jobs with side hustles. Figure it out, boy. No sympathy here. You know what? That's interesting. I almost got to say, chat.
We have lost it, folks. We have
You see? That's what I got to say, chat. We have lost it, folks. No sympathy, no love. Okay, enough. I can calm down with the sarcasm. Because, okay, we're not giving him sympathy. But did anyone even notice what he even said? Did you miss it? What's his pot budget? Hey, what? I think that's a fair question. I hope you're not judging the man. But like, that's a fair question. So is many questions. Are you in debt? Did you go to school? Are you in student loan debt? You know what's another great question? You missed it, folks. No one said it in the chat so far. Let's start this video again. Okay, some people are thinking. There's some people thinking in the chat. Someone is asking, what's the federal minimum wage amount? You caught it. He said he's told us how much he makes here. He told us how much he makes.
Can somebody explain to me in crayon-eating terms why I make over 3 times the federal minimum wage and I cannot afford to live?
Explain it.
I do not want to hear the poor...
3 times the federal minimum wage. Okay, let's do a little Googling, huh? How about we do a little Googling? I wish I had, like, sinister music. Federal minimum wage in California, effective January 1st, 2024, is $16 per hour. I heard they're going up to 20, or already did for some fast food workers. But how about we play a little, Let's play it conservatively. Is 15 fair? Let's just lowball it. Let's go with 15. 15 bucks an hour. 3 times that, okay? 45 bucks an hour. 40 hours a week. He said something about 90, but we're going to lowball this. We're going to lowball this. Keep it way low. $48 an hour, $45 an hour. Because we're bringing that down another $1. 40 hours a week. We're not doing 90. 1,800 bucks a week. Okay, 7,200 bucks a month. Okay, taxes and stuff and all that. Let's just bring it down. Let's just lop off 1,200 bucks for some reason, just for fun. He's making $6,000 a month. Now, help me understand who really lost the plot here. What's the average student loan payment here? Now, I'm on USA News. I'm on US News. Who knows about these figures? But let's take the highest figures this website is showing me, US News, for someone who took out over $100,000 in student debt. The highest range here. The absolute highest range here. People are paying 7%. It looks like around 7 to 8% on this over $100,000 loan, and their payments are something like $2,000, above $2,000. He's saying one-bedroom apartment is $2,000. He's making $6,000 a month. He's saying this one-bedroom apartment is $2,200. Who can afford that? He says, my friend. It sounds like you can afford that. It seems. Am I wrong here, folks? Am I totally mistaken here? It sounds like he's the one that can afford this. Do we got to go Dave Ramsey on him?
Pull yourself up from your bootstraps.
Oh, pick yourself up from your bootstraps. Wait, I got to cross my arms like Dave Ramsey, because I don't understand. Okay, you have a student loan debt. You got a student loan debt. I can't do it, Dave Ramsey. I mean, you probably got credit card debt. You probably got credit card debt because you probably purchased you probably purchased OnlyFans models, OnlyFans subscriptions because you're lonely. Okay, they say who would pay for porn? Who would pay for corn? Who would pay for pornography? Well, it's actually these millennials and Gen Zs. They actually do. They have subscriptions. You probably have credit cards. You probably have debt because you're stupid. Okay, I can't do Dave Ramsey. Don't get mad at me. But I'm crunching the numbers here. I'm crunching some numbers, okay? Let's crunch some other numbers. And I see calls coming in. I do appreciate it. It's 888-775-3773. Let's go. Let's lowball this. Let's say you're not making 3 times the federal minimum wage. You're making $15 an hour, 40 hours a week, $600 around. We're going super conservative. We're going $2,000 a month. Now, I understand there's people who have loans, they have debts, they have all these things that you added to your life. I'm blessed in that I didn't add all these things. I really don't. I'm like, I have no debt, okay? It's not like I have a lot of stuff, but I'm just saying. I'm blessed in that. So, isn't that an interesting lesson, though? The more you could do without, the less problems you have. You think you need all these things. You think you need more money, for example. But more money, more problems. You need me to tell you? This is age-old wisdom. You need me to repeat these things to you? Maybe. Maybe that's what I'm here for. I'm learning too. Okay, look, the uncertainty facing my generation was not new to me. I have read articles just like the one I am trying to write. I'm reading this article here from The Guardian in my research here. Miles Herbert, who seems like a millennial. He looks like
90 hours a week.
Whoops. You know what? Since this clip started playing, I may be moving from it too quickly. There was something I wanted to say about this clip real quick. You notice the guy at the bottom, who may be a boomer, I don't know. He's saying, I truly feel for this generation. Is this like families in America? You know, it's parents who see the problems that are incoming for the younger generations. They feel partly responsible, either generally, like as a generation, you'll hear things like climate change. But it's not even just that for the liberals. It's the conservatives too, the Christians. All this, I don't know, sexual immorality. Oh, it's, I don't know, they're transing, they're grooming. I don't know, I just can't do anything about it. I don't know, look at them.
That's not the goal, guys.
Look at them, they're just grooming my kids. I don't know what to do, man. You know what I'm saying here? It's on both sides. And it's, I think this, they're placing these grief over this pain, sort of pain. They want to avoid, they don't want the younger generations to go through pain. It's all a mess. It's all this emotional mess. So I see this older gentleman in the bottom screen here. And I noticed this one part, maybe this is just me reading into it, but you notice where the part that he was mostly emotional here, the part where he emoted the most at was the part where this guy on the top, this, I don't know, this guy who's doing like iDubbbz impression. We love iDubbbz, okay? No, okay. He's looking like, he's saying the part he emoted the hardest at was the part where he was like, and they're giving billions of dollars to Ukraine. Did you notice that one?
Should not.
Our standard.
Agreed. Should not be our standard.
I'm tired of people being complacent with this uniparty, both of them fucking us over.
Look, there's the part where he really likes this part. Notice he really likes this part about the uniparty and they're giving the money to Ukraine.
When my parents were my age, they both made less than half of what I make, and they lived alone. I cannot afford to live anywhere alone. A one-bedroom apartment, $1,800. Two-bedroom apartment.
This generation is locked out of living on their own.
Quick point too there. I don't know if I even said this about when I was crunching the numbers for the actual minimum wage in California. Like, let's say $15. I gave you that number. $2,000 a month is doable. I was telling you when I got to LA how I looked at a part. I was trying to give you practical step-by-step stuff I did when I got here to LA and just had to find work. And I got here from Canada. So you could do it on minimum wage. You just got to accept certain things. I knew, I did not even have it in my thinking that I was going to live alone. That I already knew. I'm just like, I'm looking for roommates, and I'm starting to work now because I'm going to have to go through multiple because I'm going to, I want to make sure I'm not living with a crazy, at least the best I can. That was my mentality. That was my thinking. And so I get people reaching out to me when I said stuff like that, and they're like, Nick, but you don't understand how life was like. And these are older people. This one older individual who reached out to me, he was like, he's an older person. He was an older person. He said, you don't understand how easy it was to buy houses and all this, how little I paid, da-da-da. Even Jesse, he talks about buying a house, how little I paid. And I'm thinking, man, I cannot believe this older man is talking to me like this. Because even if, like, that's true, which it is, like, house prices have gone up, we could talk about wages, we could talk about many things. I only know the life I live. I only know my life. Why are you trying to make me think about someone's life, someone else's life, and trying to take away from what I got to focus on, which is my life right now, and finding a roommate and working my way up and doing my thing? You feel me? It's like, even if the whole country is against you and they want you to be homeless and they're doing the worst, they put out a bill that says you now have to give 50% to a black person, all your wages. But I'm going to be on the streets, too bad. Even then, I still would hope that I'd have the strength, because I don't know what I'd do, that I'd maintain even if it's that crazy, I still got to eat, I got to figure it out. Okay, well then in my lifetime, I don't own a home. Look at how crazy the government is. Well, guess what? I guess I just don't own a home in my lifetime. Isn't that a sad commentary? But I can't give up. And even on that, I can't even just accept that. Oh, well, I just don't own one. I'm just not going to own a home. I'm still going to work hard. I'm not even going to accept that. That's just random things I'm saying. 888-775-3773. Nick had that light-skinned privilege. You think so, David C? Nick had that light skin privilege. I don't know what you mean, but that is making me crack up for some reason. The uncertainty of the generations. Let's take some calls, I think. Let me also check the coffees. Buymeacoffee.com/anchor, baby. Let me see what's going on here, because we've had some super chatters. Yes, Gunner, thank you. We have a good view in Chicago, he says. Back-to-back super chats there. Kale with a super chat says he should move to a small town. Look, I'm telling you how I came to LA in 2019. Minimum wage, and very quickly, to be fair, I remember I was honest on this, but to be fair, we very quickly moved up. my minimum wage got bumped up quick. But, you know, I have many years of experience in the cooking world, so I have that. You know, some of you are much younger. The ones who are calling me in with full of doubt, you're way younger. I had many years to work in a kitchen job. Some of you are reaching out to me and you're like, Nick, I don't have skills. I didn't go to school. And I remember I tripped out about that. But here, these years of cooking experience meant that I never went hungry. I arrived to a new city and made my way. So don't even think that. Okay, just do your best at what you're doing and know it. Okay, anyways, I'm just saying stuff. Kale, thank you for that. Carver with the super chat says maybe he should start hustling graphics cards. Look, you heard Lord Bibby. He's got side hustles. What do you think a side hustle is? Okay, but you know, supply and demand, baby. Okay, I'm a little greasy. I'm sorry. It's the anchor baby in me. This is why you shouldn't trust all these refugees, man. This is why you shouldn't trust all these. Look, I come from a family of line cutters. Anyways, look, let's take a call. Line jumpers, Brian from North Carolina. Appreciate your call. You're on the air.
Thanks, Nick. I appreciate it, man. How are you?
All is well, sir.
Nice. What does that mean? I'm a little greasy.
Okay, I don't know if that's an American thing, but that's like a slang in Canada, like greasy. You're just a little greasy, like
slippery.
When I was hawking graphics cards, it wasn't exactly, you know, I was jumping the line because I had techniques to do so that allowed me to buy graphics cards ahead of the line and sell them at a higher price. Everyone knows this. It's not a secret. They know this about the anchor baby. I didn't keep that a secret.
Okay, I think I understand. Man, I like the topic. I think it was brought up earlier on a Hake show. Somebody brought up living within your means, for people living outside of their means. And I was not much different from that guy in that video that you just showed. I didn't see it, but I could hear it. And I remember when I first got put on child support, I sounded just like that dude, man. I was like, how am I supposed to live on this? What am I going to do? This isn't fair. All types of stuff. When the reality of the matter is that even before I got put on child support, I was just living way outside of my means. Yep. And I have a good friend of mine who is something like that guy, where he makes a ridiculous amount of money and yet somehow still finds a way to complain about how he can't afford anything. And I ask him, well, I know where he lives. I'm like, Tyler, take a look at where you live. He's like, what do you mean? I'm like, you live in downtown. Why do you live down there? It's nice. Okay, but do you need to live down there? No. Well, why don't you move? I shouldn't have to move.
He didn't even think about that. He didn't even consider it. That's what
didn't even consider it. It's crazy but that's something that was the other guy that was commentating, Dave Ramsey.
No. That was some other. I really don't think. I think it was just some guy on TikTok.
Because I was when you mentioned Dave Ramsey, it made me remember his slogan. I don't know if you remember one of his early slogans was "I see dead people."
No, I don't remember that. I started watching him way later. Like
that comes from Sixth Sense, where he says, "I see dead people."
Nice, yeah, I definitely gathered. That's funny. I see. That sounds like he would say that too. I see dead people. I can't really do it. I would go way too southern with it when I do a Dave Ramsey.
So tell me, you're making $90,000 a year now. How much of that you have going towards insurance?
Heck yeah. Whatever you say, man. Hey, what should I do with my money? You sound like when you talk like that. What should I do with my money? Yeah, man.
I love those country accents, man.
Yeah.
But I called just to say, you know, everybody could take a chance to look at themselves and say, do I really need to be living like this? Before you decide to go and blame somebody for what it looks like you have to do and you don't want to do. Just take a look at yourself and ask yourself, you know, do I need to have all of these subscriptions? Do I need to stop at that gas station that I like to stop at every morning and every night on the way home from work? Just a bunch of questions, man. Just take a look at yourself and ask yourself, because I was like that, and I realized that it was all because of me. It had nothing to do with federal minimum wage. It had nothing to do with the price of gas rising. Now, granted, like you said, we can all agree that those things are going up.
Right.
But there's always something that can be done for yourself
versus
trying to think about what needs to be done for everybody.
I'll be one of those homeless people that's like enterprising, man. I'd be like all skinny, jumping into dumpsters. Like, I don't know what to tell you, but I'm not giving up. But, that's because at that point these problems got so bad, the ones you're talking about. And another thing, attack your debt with a vengeance. You got to attack your debt with a vengeance. You might think that's silly, but there's something really interesting I noticed. And you might think, well, this sounds so superstitious. Like, it's money, Nick. It's simple, but literally I had like just some certain credit card debts, and I'm just like paying it off, and I'm just like, I remember like crunching numbers and kind of obsessing over numbers a little bit. Like, I got it all under control, but I'm like, why am I not making money? And so I just like, I attacked the debts with a vengeance, and they were not a lot. They really were not a lot at all. And I just attacked them with a vengeance, and just suddenly my account was just higher and higher. I don't know what to tell you. It's simple things. But something I do notice, and then you can comment on this, maybe we can move on, is the guys who, over the years, you hear advice. Everybody wants to give advice. But the stuff that's always really made sense that I applied that works, anyone who's talking about a topic, it's the ones that want to identify the issue for real. You notice Dave Ramsey, you notice whatever. You notice the first step is getting to know yourself is what I'm trying to say. You notice the first step is examining your finances. Where is your money going? How much are you spending on this much? Oh my God, I did not know I spent this much this month on that. I had no idea. That's how it always starts. It's always, I had no idea. And then you see.
Yep.
And then the next step is available. Yeah.
Yeah, but I totally agree with you on that about it starts with looking at yourself. But like I mentioned with my dear friend, I've brought that up countless times, and some people just don't want to look at themselves.
Yeah. Or even look at their account. But yeah. Big time, man.
Right on, Nick.
Same thing.
And also, I just wanted to say too, you said that you crunched your numbers, you did this or that and the third.
Right. Just very, simple, like
swiftly.
Yeah. Swiftly.
Right. I don't really deal with numbers like that, man. I'm learning that the numbers really aren't important.
You might be right, man. You know what you're making me think of? You're making me think of. I'm trying not to cut you off. You're making me think of something, but please finish your statement.
No. I was done. What were you gonna say?
When I was obsessing over calories, and I was like working out hardcore, and I still do to like just be healthy, but I haven't poured in like time like I used to into it. But I was obsessing over like what I'm trying to say is I recorded everything I ate. I had a scale, and I weighed everything I ate. And you know what happened to me? I did get stronger. I built some muscle, but it was nothing at all like I expected. I got fat from head to toe. Everybody knew. You could see it. And I'm just trying to explain how it was just not how I expected. It was so funny how I had all the numbers crunched.
Yep. Yeah, counting don't count as doing.
Right. Yeah. Interesting.
But all right, Nick, I appreciate the time, man. I wish you well.
Call me again, sir.
Yes, sir.
888-775-3773. Yeah, cancel that Amazon subscription, David C. Do I need to cross my arms on you? What's Nit's bench PR? I mean, last we checked, it was like over 200. Last we checked. When was the last time? Don't worry about that question. 888-775-3773. Let's get to Jaime, Minnesota. How you doing, sir? You're on the air.
Hey, doing pretty good.
Right on.
Yeah, I was looking up, the prices of houses in the 1940s,
Yes.
And I was thinking about these houses, and the houses today, they're different, I know some of the old timers, they say, yeah, we built our own house, or my grandpa built his house, and all he needed was the land. And yeah, if you're going to build like a lean-to or, a little cabin with no heat, no AC, no electricity, no gas hookup, you know.
Right.
Today, houses, they have a lot of amenities, you know, the showers, you know, 3 shower. In my house, I got 2 showers. You know, I got 3 bathrooms. That costs money, you know.
Right.
So the higher kind of value house you have with the more amenities, the more it's going to cost. I know there's a couple houses I was looking at today or yesterday. You know, they're like 1 bed, 1 bath. You know, 100 something. That's a good price for that. You know.
You said 100 something?
Yeah, 100 something thousand.
In Minnesota?
Yeah, to buy.
Hmm.
The rent over here is $700 for, you know, an apartment.
For a single bedroom?
Yeah, 1 bedroom. They got 2 bedroom for 8 or 9.
Well, there you go. There. Start your life in Minnesota. Go if
yeah,
you really,
LA.
really, really want to live by yourself on minimum wage.
Yeah,
Then
and
move
I
somewhere
think I've
else.
seen signs for McDonald's, you know, starting at $18, $19.
Dang.
Try not to make it in life on that. You have to try hard.
And
it's
yeah.
The subscriptions and the OS and the, you know, all this other Xbox Live and but this guy on that video you were showing, yeah, I would like to know what his student loan debt is and what kind of credit cards he has. And if he did just graduate, what kind of car did he buy?
Right.
Because you know he bought a brand new car.
It's a mess,
Just looking
man.
at him.
I can't. I've seen these videos. I see this guy. He's doing the hysterical teen girl thing. It went viral. Yeah. Multiple different women, young girls were going around crying hysterically to the TikTok saying, "It's so hard to work. I got to work so much. And then I got to do it again tomorrow." And, you know, people were kind of understanding them, I guess. Oh, it is tough for a girl. But it's interesting to see a guy do it, right? There's no sympathy, not even a little bit. You're like, heck no, you got to pull yourself up, man. What are you doing? It's a mess, man.
Yeah,
and
I guess I've never seen the women doing it. I still have no sympathy. I mean, like, why'd you go to school? Why don't you just go get married?
Yeah.
Let that be the man's problem.
Incredible. Yeah, I'm not even sure what to say. It's just, I guess I get this urge to want to navigate it in a better way because I know that there are real things going on or whatever. But I just can't go along with
the whole
the spirit
thing
of
with
things
Ukraine.
here. It's just so stupid.
The whole thing with Ukraine has nothing to do with that guy's debt.
Yeah.
Or what he's making. It has nothing to do with the price of the apartment and why he can't afford it. Nothing. It's all in his head. But that boomer-looking guy, he's probably like a millennial, upper millennial.
I was thinking he might have been like maybe like old Gen X, maybe.
Yeah, Gen X. Yeah, that's the one. Gen X. He's playing mama.
Big
patting
time.
the boy on the back. Oh, it'll be okay. It'll be okay. Poor guy.
It's almost like poetic representation of the whole problem from beginning to end.
Yeah, people don't need that. They need to know you're doing it to yourself.
Yeah. They say this guy's like, oh, they're giving all this money to Ukraine. And obviously, I'm not discounting the economic impacts and the stress it puts on everyone. But look, yeah, people deny that, by the way. Imagine that all this money going foreign, you'd think that's not impacting people. But that being said, imagine if they gave that aid money to him, people like him, homeless people. That'd be even worse.
Oh, it would be way worse.
Imagine it, like I was saying, like driving around just giving out that cash. Well, you're saying, why are they giving billions to Ukraine when there's all these people in Philadelphia strung out on drugs? I hear that and I'm just like, there's no understanding of the issue. No. They should just give them the money. Is that what you're thinking we should do?
No. That's a big problem. That would be a big problem.
True.
Yeah.
Well, right on, Jaime.
That's all
Appreciate it, man. Anything else you want to say before we move the wheels here?
No. Hey, did you hear about the San Francisco shooting up salts into the sky to make it colder?
Okay. No. I heard you say it on the Hake Report, though. Geoengineering test quietly launches. Oh, this is Scientific American.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that reputable?
I don't know, actually.
It's probably equal to the ladies at the scam.
It might be, yeah. I think it's I think we can agree on this. It's as reputable as the ladies at the skim. Geoengineering test quietly launches salt crystals into atmosphere. I missed what you had to say about that on Hake Report, though. What's the significance here?
Well, I don't know. Nothing.
Maybe that's the significance.
That's got nothing
that we
to do
don't
with
know.
it. No. But, all right.
All right, sir. Call me again.
Okay. Bye.
Hey, I'm down with cloud seeding. If you ask me, I don't see the problem. And I'm welcome to hear disagreements. But I'm just saying, cloud seeding, I'm taking it at face value. Clouds, they're fluffy. They part of the water cycle. You got 3 states of this molecule, right? Gaseous, solid, liquid. We're remembering the cycle of water. Clouds, cumulonimbus, stratus. We're liking it. We love the clouds. I'm thinking seeding, seeds, life, good, more clouds, rain, grow things. Tell me where I'm wrong. I can only think of good things. I only think of good things. Cloud seeding. I'm not, and I'm a little there's a little bit of joking going around with that, but seriously, I don't know any of the disagreements. Maybe I'm not up on this, but it doesn't seem like a bad thing. Would it be great to just make rain? They're cumulonimbus, they're fluffy, we're loving the clouds, we're loving the seeding, okay? Okay. 888-775-3773. We're talking about all these people wasting their money. What are they doing with their money? They're making people millionaires. They're making people maybe even 9 times of a millionaire. 9 times millionaires. Millionaire 9X. It's happening. OnlyFans, you know about it a little bit. You heard it was an interesting call. I forget who it was. Maybe it wasn't even a call. I think it was just a tweet that the Hake Report was remarking on his show. Great episode. Definitely want to check it out. TheHakeReport.com. What's up, Sugar Pancake Face? Chemicals, not seeds, dude. But, it's like, acid rain. Well, that doesn't sound nice. I'm thinking clouds and there's rain. I'm not thinking acid rain. There was no acid thought in there. No thought of acid was in there. I'm thinking clouds. I'm thinking rains. I'm thinking life, rainbows. So we got a octrillionaire. I don't think that's what it is. Everything is fake. Okay, we're moving on from the cloud seeding. OnlyFans. This woman, you may have heard of her. That red-haired lady, Nala, who's become a Christian. I want to talk about this a little bit. I know it was mentioned on the Hake Report. Another thing that he mentioned, it was a tweet, and it read something like, it was someone who was incredulous at the notion that anyone would be paying for corn and cornography. That's how we're saying it. I was doing some SEO research, by the way, the other day. Search engine optimization. You can see the scores of different channels, and if they swear a lot, if they're just not advertiser friendly, the things they say, like grape, it affects your SEO score. This is an interesting thing I was learning about. I got to teach my colleagues on this, but where was I? Corn. Why would anyone pay for it? Haven't you realized the case study OnlyFans has been? What's the OnlyFans revenue in a year? How much money What kind of money is moving? 2022, $2.5 billion. OnlyFans made in revenue. So that doesn't count for the costs. So it's not like how much they actually made, fine, but we're just trying to consider how much money's moving around here. And if revenue for OnlyFans, we're not talking about how much the creators are making. If OnlyFans made $2.5 billion in 2022, according to usinghouse.com, I guess there's people paying for it. OnlyFans has been a case study in this, if you haven't been paying attention. What people are paying for is the personal connection. It's this person in your pocket. You get to go into the chat. You get to talk to the person. You guys are kind of... Anyways, we're not going to start with that. Look, you got to understand what the implications here, what kind of man what kind of males and men are being raised. What are their motivations? What are their sensibilities? You almost have to bring it back to the mom. We're talking about sex. We're talking about those kinds of things, folks. You know how it goes. It really does start in the home. And men are absolutely subject to the woman. What better of a poetic representation is that than paying a woman for this false connection? What better represents this being subject to a woman? So you work hard. You go, you make your minimum wage. You make your TikTok videos where you're like, how can I live on this? I can't, I make it 3 times. Anyway, you make your TikTok videos. You come home and then you open up your OnlyFans and you talk with this. You do a DM with this Nala that you're paying money to. And she's like, you're my best. You're my very best customer. You're one of my favorite customers, in fact. And you're like sitting there and you're like, and she's doing this, like, what better representation of being subject to the woman? You're like, yeah, I'm getting love. I'm getting something. I'm getting affection. I'm getting something from her. I'm actually getting something. Take my money. It's going to happen. You see, the case study I'm talking about is what I'm describing is that that's why people are paying for corn. You see, people are empty in the heart. And there's the perversion and all that too. And so you get, maybe there's the excitement. There's other thrills you get that you wouldn't get from corn. So you get it, why people are paying for it. Don't be so incredulous is all I'm trying to say. Don't be so incredulous. The heart is wicked and the depths go deep. So don't be surprised. Don't be acting all, that's so crazy. Okay. So you're following. I'm talking about this OnlyFans person, and I am talking about this particular one, Nala Ray, who was on the Michael Knowles show. $9 million on OnlyFans, and God saved me. I haven't watched it, but I have seen her go viral. I've seen her go viral as she's that woman who was with the red hair saying, "Oh, I love cheating." Remember? "Oh, I love cheating." She's the one that really wanted to cheat or whatever. She went viral for that. And everyone got so sad. They were like, I can't believe women are like this. This is such a black pill. I'm never dating. If this is how women are. And she was an OnlyFans person. So she was a corn star. So she's not barely, her opinion was barely of a regular person. You know, that's a joke, YouTube. You know what I mean? It's just not a regular woman. And by regular, I mean just not doing pornography. She's a human being deserving of equal treatment under the law. I'm just saying that she was all into this cheating thing. Okay, so she went viral, and now she's a Christian. She got baptized. If you remember a little bit of the saga, she got some bad attention because there she was like, oh, you're a Christian, but your OnlyFans is still up. But then she took that down. So you don't get to talk ish. She took it down. Now she's a Christian. She's covering up. She's on the Michael Knowles show, who I believe is a Christian, Catholic maybe. And I will get back to calls. I appreciate the absolute patience of my callers. I will get to calls. I'm almost done. So now she's a Christian. She's on the Michael Knowles show. I don't have any footage to play here. It is a 2-hour thing. But I was interested. I was made aware of this thanks to, someone that comes to church, actually. I don't want to dox you, so I won't say, but I appreciate you, man. I see you tagging me. Let me see if I can show you the tweet that he showed me. Because it's Laura Loomer, as you can see here. Laura Loomer tweets, "These OnlyFans girls can pray their slutty behavior away all they want. They will never be respectable, no matter how much they cry to God. Praying to be a respectable person doesn't work once you do sex work. It's best that we shun women like this from society forever." Laura Loomer, who, she's been in politics for a while. I don't really know her that much. I don't think she's a Christian. But I don't think she's all that bad. She's not all that bad. Laura Loomer, I don't know that much about her. She is this woman involved in politics, though. And it's like, chill out, okay? Because, look, this is why women need to chill out. They start getting all... Look, she's like, praying to be a respectable person doesn't work once you do sex work. And I'm trying to show you a little bit of Nala here, if you remember her. Anyways, you get it. I'm showing you the tweet. I want to comment on the tweet clearly, because there's something about that I don't get. There's something about that just does not gel. No matter how much you cry to God. Let's take away this woman, this red-haired woman, for a second. I know it's playing back in your mind. Her saying, "I just love cheating." I know it's playing back in your mind, and you can't unsee it. But just put her aside for a second. Let's pretend she didn't even exist. Does this statement make sense on his face? No matter how much you cry to God, that might be fair, because crying to God is all in vain anyways. Why are you doing all that crying anyways? But hold up. Praying to be a respectable person doesn't work once you do sex work. It's best that we shun women like this from... I don't know if she knows anything about my boy Jesus. Maybe I shouldn't call him my boy. I'm having fun on my show, okay? But I'm remembering Jesus. I'm remembering some stories. I may not know much, but I'm just remembering some Christian attitudes, forgiveness of that one slutty woman, and the call for her to go and sin no more. I even remember someone in Sunday bringing up, how do we figure out when someone's being serious? If someone really means it, they're really being Christian. There's someone even on Hake's show, they were saying, hey, when you're dating, you got to go for someone who really means it, who's really working on themselves. How do you know? How can you know? How can you really know? And why are you concerning yourself with that? In a relationship, in a marriage? She really... Now, you can maybe nudge them the right way, but it should not bother you at all. Because some things are clear. Sometimes you can see, like, something you're not seeing. Hey, have you noticed? But that's it. That's it. There's really not much more you could do. Everything else is vain and ego. Trying to either convert and fix someone, or trying to judge if someone is fixed or converted. It's a wrong use of energy. There's people who are saying, I think I saw just someone say in my chat that this reformed OnlyFans person convert is full of ish. Yeah, duh. Everyone is. If you have anger, you're evil. I don't care if you call yourself Christian, da-da-da. Everyone is. But this is a step in the right direction. Come on. This is at least a professing Christian, right? You see what I'm saying here? I mean, like, let's not lose the plot. Everyone is full of ish, okay? And especially if it's all emotional. Like, think about this for a second, folks. If you really found God, why would you ever need to go and prove that? And this goes for me. This goes for why would you feel the need to go and prove it? Like, hey, or for example, let me put this even in a more accurate way in this situation. If you truly found God, why would you ever feel the need to atone and make up for your sinful time when you were an OnlyFans girl? And now I'm just atoning and I'm just so... Because I get I've seen some of her videos. I may have noticed a little bit of a spirit there. I don't know her heart, but if it's anything like, I'm so guilty. I thought you found God, right? again, and not to judge this woman, because I'm telling you that's the wrong energy to even try and figure that out. You see what I'm saying here, folks? This OF convert, it's like everyone's full of ish. This is, to even be thinking of these things, it's like, to at least allow the conversation with Michael Knowles, it's just, that's just how I see it. What do you guys think? That's just the wrong energy to really try and figure out someone's heart. And dating too. How will you ever know that? Marriage is like a fallen thing anyways. It's like you get married and then you kind of overcome your life. Then you overcome your stuff. What I notice from experience in the callers on the Jesse Lee Peterson show and all that, you find yourself in hell and you're already married, and then you start dealing with life. Or you like wake up and you actually don't want to date and do all the fake stuff. And you don't want to do the crap. You see what you've heard? Maybe you've heard some callers out there, and they're like, Jesse, I don't even want to get into the rigmarole of dating. It's like, now I'm waking up, I see how fake it is. So it's like, you need to find someone who's a Christian. You need to get married with someone who's really working on. That's not even your responsibility. You're not God. You don't know that. What the heck? How would you ever even know that? You could still maintain the correct posture at a marriage. Do you see what I'm saying there? If it's even the situation I just described, someone who's already married and they wake up, you still have a responsibility. I'm reminded of a verse that Hake brought up on his show. If you find God or something like that, stay the way you are. If you're married, if you're not. Don't you see the wisdom in that? I'm not telling you what to do in your situation. I'm just saying that you're spending the energy wrong. You can't know someone's heart like that. But this journey is a solo journey. You've heard it said before. I'm just spreading the message here. It's a solo journey, and the more I pay attention to it, the more I see that, honestly. Okay. I'm just saying, look, you maybe I'm wrong. But I'm really trying to search through my life. Let me really think about this. I can't really think of a single married man that I know that I'm like, dang, that guy is like strong. Or not to say that I don't respect many, there's a respect I have for a lot of men that are in certain situations or how they've handled their lives. I'm just saying, when you really get down to it, strong is unmoving. Strong is the woman doesn't lead. I guess I'm being quite general here, but I'm just trying to be sincere. I can't think of a single. I'm not trying to be all negative. I'm just saying, marriage and kids, that's its own thing. That's like its own thing. And you can learn from it. It seems like that. That's what, I'm not married. I'm just saying. It's not the salvation part. It's not the what you got to work on part. Anyways, hopefully you understand me a little bit here. OF convert. Anything else on this? On this lady. It's just funny to see the judgments too from the Christians on a woman like this. What else? You get it. You guys are following me a little bit here, hopefully. 888-775-3773. We got Rick, Hampton, Virginia. You're on the air, sir. Appreciate your call.
Man, my brother Nick, what is going on, man?
All is well, Rick. Appreciate that.
Man, good service yesterday for Jesse, too, man. I was listening in on it yesterday. Well, I tell you, I was one of these days I'm going to actually come to church out there, actually. Because I love the way y'all have church. Y'all, the congregation asks questions. That's different. Y'all the only one that does it that way out of all churches. Well, anyway, I just want to comment on, man.
Thank you, man.
I just think people when marriage and stuff, I think marriage is beautiful, but the problem I believe I see a lot is broken people getting married and not dealing with their trauma.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. I agree with that.
You know, and every time you see it, now when you got two broken people, that the woman's looking for the man to feel the brokenness and trauma that she didn't ever deal with, and the man is doing the same thing. And so when neither one of them are reaching, you know, their expectations, and that goes to fighting and arguing, and eventually they break up.
Can I ask you something about that, Rick?
Shoot.
When you were growing up and you heard about marriage, or maybe even taught or whatever, in growing up, and if you remember and what you may have learned or were taught or whatever, I don't even know how to phrase my question, but let me try here in hopes that you can understand me, because what I'm trying to get at is that it seems like there are stages to life. Right? And it seems like there are stages even to a relationship, and there's the stage where you meet and there's like, it's all new and it's exciting. And then there's the stage where you get to know each other. You know, there's stages is all I'm trying to say. And I'm wondering if maybe in the time when you were growing up, maybe was there a sort of knowing of this going through stages? Because it seems to me like I'm looking at my generation and they don't go through these stages. They get stuck in this like fantasy land. And instead, I'm thinking of some marriages I know, and it seems like they went through stages. They went through times where things weren't hunky dory, and they had to overcome all these silly notions they had about each other when they were younger, and they grew up. Am I making any sense here, Rick? Was there any kind of mentality on marriage that way?
Well, you know, I was taught, you know, like from seeing my grandmothers, my dad, and my dad was a good provider and stuff like that, and he was a good father and a good husband. My mom stayed with him, and one thing I did in my for me, I love both my parents. I love my dad and mom, and I just didn't have, you know, I didn't experience any trauma in my life, and if I did experience, I just, you know, moved on and you know, stayed better. But I didn't hold on to anger and unforgiveness, because I'm telling you, that will destroy you as a person. You know, so not that I ain't making any mistakes, but like in marriage too, and a lot with marriage too, Nick, it's really just, you know, like when you first meet a woman, you do all the things to get her.
Yeah.
And then it's just like protecting her, validating her, you know, and just do the same things we do. Sometimes in marriage, what we do, we get complacent, and we just don't do the things we did no more. And then next thing you know, then you husband or wife, you become roommates.
But you're saying we should do those things.
I say treat your wife as you want to be treated. And however, if you're broken and have trauma, you need to deal with that before you get married, man.
But I don't think men really want to do those things.
Say again, what's that, Nick?
But I don't think men really want to do those things. That's the problem.
Well, they should.
They only do those things to get something. If you really wanted to do those things, you wouldn't need or want anything. And so, the conclusion here is, I'm sorry, Rick, you saying?
No, I was saying, well, you know how the ministry is, like you, Jesse, Joel, you know, James, and we pushed, get over your anger, you know, get over your thoughts.
Yes.
And see, a lot of people don't treat their trauma. They like for example, like if a woman gets molested, or a man, or a guy, if they don't deal with that, they're gonna bring it in a relationship. I'm telling you.
Well, yes, but yeah,
one lady I like.
Inevitably, it seems like we all do. That being said, once we do, there's this chance to like wake up and overcome. But I'm just saying, what I notice is that the people who are doing that work in a marriage, they stop doing the things you're talking about. And if the other person is not doing those things, then what I notice is they get irked. A part of them feels unloved. You know what I mean?
Right, exactly.
But isn't that what you want to overcome? Isn't that what you want to get over? So by continuing doing the things, the ego placations, so that you wouldn't be roommates, like you said, is really showing no love.
Now, you know, I like for my wife, don't get me wrong, time to time I say, honey, you're beautiful. I'm glad to be with you. Give her compliments. But let's say if I miss a day and don't say my wife she's beautiful, she should crucify me on the cross.
Or feel anything at all. Because when you were saying that, we're assuming things here for a second. Because when you were saying that, it was sincere, and I was just like, "Hey, I'm just happy to see you," and that's it. I'm not trying to make you feel better, and you got to be honest about that, right? But she should feel nothing if you never say that again.
Right, exactly my point. What my wife should judge me is by how I treat her. You know, the fruit I bear. So if I'm treating her with respect, you know, if I don't say pretty, if I say you're beautiful today, and then I don't say it for the next 2 days, you should still know that I love you. If you would. You understand what I'm saying, Brother Nick?
I do, sir. And I'm trying to understand, but I feel you. And maybe I shouldn't feel you, but thank you for saying it.
That's all I'm just saying. All in a nutshell is don't depend on me to make you happy. If anybody needs somebody to say, they like say, you're going to make me happy.
We're going to let them down. We're going to let the woman down.
That's right. You better make another hole through a wall and leave because can't no one make you happy. You need to already come to the marriage with happiness and peace and contentment.
And why even get married?
Spouse does. Right. Well, it's just like Jesse said, produce children. Because if you get married thinking somebody gonna make you happy, you'll be divorced because they gonna miss the mark.
Interesting.
Only thing marriage does is go ahead.
Or you do it the Christian way and you just stay married and you're just like, dang, that was crazy. I can't believe we got married. We thought we loved each other. Isn't that amazing? We thought we got together. We thought we married each other out of love. But now we really are learning and we are really discovering what that is. And ain't that a story?
Nick, I just think people, what they do is people start having sex before they actually say I do, and you never get to know the person. Or you know what I mean? So you caught up all into the sex, and next thing you know, you get married. Hey, she did a 360 degrees on me, man. I mean, I guess I met the representative. Now I'm married to the real person.
That's why you got to slow down. We can slow down.
Yeah.
You don't have to. It's not the end of the world. You can slow down. Just slow down. Slow down right now.
I think a lot of us get married, Nick, to keep God from looking over our shoulders. What I mean, everybody knows God wants you to be married when you married to have sex and produce children.
Yeah.
But I think people get married to keep God from looking over their shoulders.
Wow.
And yet, still they broken, and it's all about the sex. And next thing you know, they was having sex way even before marriage. They never got to really know each other. And like I said, they never even treated their trauma. So when you're having sex, it blinds all that. You don't see nothing when you're having sex, man. You ain't even thinking about it, really.
Truest thing you said all call, Rick. Hard.
Yeah, man.
Anything else you want to say,
like
Rick?
To hear that.
Anything else you want to say?
Oh,
sorry.
And one last thing,
please.
And you have a lot of blacks always complaining. I know you hear this a lot. Oh, man, I got to work 3 times harder than a white guy, which is not true. What pushed that propaganda is the public school system, black parents, black politicians, urban radio, and can't no one even prove that. Well, I got to work as hard. I said, I never did that. I said, I'm an HVAC tech by trade, and I do my job like I'm doing it for Christ. And people, when you do good work, people come look for you.
Nice,
about the
Rick.
thoughts again,
I like that.
You know?
You're like you're like I'm blanking. Oh, well. He's some composer from back in the day. Said he'd only composed music for God, as if Christ was listening.
Right.
Well, maybe he thought Christ was God. Hey, Rick, so interesting. I'm forgetting what I was going to ask you, man. But, hey, big time, man. Can you call me again?
Yes, sir. I love y'all shows, man. I try to call in for all love. I know y'all probably say, hey, do Rick have a job? But I love y'all shows, man. And I'm telling y'all shows are growing, man. Maybe one day you guys, man, can get a 24-hour station, man, with different guys like that think along like you guys do. You know what I mean?
It's happening.
You know, so that's what I'm hoping to see, man. and you guys are doing a good job. Y'all views are growing because I'll be watching y'all views, and y'all growing pretty fast, man. Soon you're gonna be able to call in as easy, man, because you won't be busy with so many people trying to call in.
It's incredible, actually, and it's just growing. Man, Rick, thank you for
growing
that.
as fast as you think. No problem, man, and love you guys, man, and but hey, Nick, one day, man, maybe you can interview me on your show one day, man. I would love to be interviewing any of y'all shows, man.
I'm interviewing you right now. Hey, you know what?
Oh man, appreciate it.
About
yes, sir.
You know about HVAC? You know what's interesting?
Yes.
I saw this.
What's that?
I'm just putting it out there as a little bit of good news. Maybe it's good news. I don't know. But hey, Gen Z I saw this article on Gen Z taking on trades like in a surprising way. Who knows? Maybe they were listening to Rick. Appreciate your call, Rick, man. Call me again.
No problem. Hey, I push the trades, man. The trades are looking for some great men to come join it instead of the public school system, in my opinion, pushing college to every student. We're looking for some good trades, electricians, plumbers, elevator mechanics, and you can make a good living in any trade. As long as
build
you have
yourself a little
work
fortune.
hard, have a great attitude.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Good attitude, build yourself a little fortune. Appreciate it, Rick. Call me again.
Yes, sir. Love you guys. God bless. Be good.
Take care. Nice. Oh, right. Absolutely incredible. Absolutely incredible. It's that song. Who's the composer? He's a classical song. It's like that one. It's also the tune of my oven. When the oven's done, it goes na 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 na. Come on, you know it. Anyways, it's like Desu Dehu. It's something about God. My Lord. Mozart? Bach. Was it Bach? Hava Nagila? Third Waltz by Steve Harvey. Thanks, Carver. Appreciate that. I knew someone would know. I knew chat would know. Third Waltz by Steve Harvey. That may be a cover of the original, but hey, appreciate the info. Chat. Jesu, Joy of Man's Desire by Bach. Thank you, Alejandro Pelaez. That's awesome. Hopefully I didn't dox you. That's the one. Jesu, Joy of Man's Desire. Jesu? Maybe it's Jesu? Very nice. Like Jesus. Okay. Hey, what's up, Mildew Grew? How you doing? Appreciate that. Right on. Mildew Grew, you should call or email bond@bondinfo.org or call the office. 782-323-782-1980. You never know, man. Okay, so what are we doing now? I think I got another call. I got another call before we get into, I got a little interesting video we can finish off with. It's funny. It's silly. It's kind of serious. But I like the accents in the video. I love accents. We got Santino out of Texas. Until then, you're on the air, sir.
Hey, Nick, what's going on?
All is well, Santino. Appreciate your call.
Good. Hey, Nick, I just had a comment about how, people will do their dirt and they'll go to ask Christ for forgiveness, and then they get the forgiveness, I guess, and, they go out into the world expecting the world to forgive them.
Mm-hmm.
And, the world doesn't forgive them, and they get beat up about, they'll say, oh, but I went to God and he forgave me and of all my sins, and then they'll find that the world doesn't care.
Yeah. Yeah. Or they'll judge you, really. Yeah. It's really what they'll really go harder on you because of they'll call you a hypocrite. They'll call you all sorts of things to bring you down. Whether or not you're sincere in what you're doing, the world's reaction is so telling how much they it speaks to really how much they love their hell, how much they love the situation they're in and all that. to even hear of someone say, you know what, I'm done with all that. I gotta say, maybe that wasn't the best idea of my life. Well, don't you? Oh, it's real easy for you to say, huh? OF slut.
Right. Yeah, because and then because maybe a OF girl who like that girl who did the $9 million and then she turned to Christ. Maybe if she gets married and her husband finds out that she did that, he's automatically. I'm not saying automatically, maybe he will accept her, but he's going to definitely look at it a different way, and maybe, the relationship will go south because he's maybe not in the world, but, he's part of the world, and he's going to see her in that way, and that's not going to change. So people get confused and think that, oh, my husband is going to forgive me, or my mom's going to forgive me, and they beat themselves up about it, and then...
That's a good point, man. Because I was just about to say... I was about to ask that man in your hypothetical. Let's say the woman really meant it. She really believes she really meant it. She is sincerely sorry. She thinks, "Wow, I can't believe I was doing sex work. I mean it." And then she meets a man, and would he be wrong in finding out about the OF? I don't know if she should hide it, but at the same time, if she meant it and it's a past life, I don't know what to say. But okay, let's say he finds out. Do you think he's wrong for seeing her differently?
I don't think he's necessarily wrong, no, because especially if he didn't know about it, and then
but she meant it though. She was sincere in seeing how wrong that was, and she totally stopped all of it, and she sincerely meant that.
Well, I guess for the sake of marriage, he shouldn't, divorce her, but it's definitely going to weigh heavily on the guy, And,
but only because he's judging her.
Right.
In this scenario, she sincerely is sorry about that.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying this red-haired woman. I'm talking about your hypothetical.
Right.
In this fantasy, we can assume things. We can assume things we normally wouldn't. And in this case, we know that they're hypothetical. She really is sorry. Wouldn't he be wrong for? Wouldn't the only tension and stress is coming from only his judgment?
Yeah, he would be wrong for having the judgment on her, and but
that being said, what you said is so true. That being said, what you said is so true. A lot of people will get married thinking this person's going to accept me and all that. No.
Right.
No, in fact, that's the person that tries to change you the most, I notice, and hates you the most or whatever, or, you just butt heads and stuff.
Yeah. Well, so that was my comment about it. But I also got a bone to pick with you because about 2 weeks ago I gave a super chat and you didn't read it. And it's been weighing on my mind. The devil's creeping in, and he's like, "Hey, you should."
That's not right, man. Now I feel like I remember something recently came up, and I feel like you may have mentioned this, and I can't remember, man.
I think it was someone else.
But please. I want to make sure that it's been read, if you remember it at all, since I have you on the air. I mean, the floor is yours, sir.
There was a lyric in the song that really just asked if you made a list of people you would trust, would you write your name on that list? That was it.
Do remember that super chat. I actually do remember it. And maybe I didn't read it. Maybe I read it in my head and I never said it out loud. I do apologize. But I don't think...
It's not a big bone.
Yeah.
to pick, but...
Well, we made that clear. Cleared that one up. Would you write yourself? Well, I guess you're asking me. Maybe I should answer first.
Well, since you asked me, I'll just say that I don't think that I would write my name down because I have let myself down many times, so I wouldn't make that list. I don't think that list would probably have 0 names on it, honestly. But
interesting.
But what about you?
I'm not entirely sure, man. I don't think so. But then you said let myself down. And that didn't quite make sense. I just don't know how to take that. I don't know. I don't really know. I don't want to say anything about it. But I don't want to say it makes sense. I don't want to say it makes sense. When you said I let myself down so many times, there's something about that doesn't gel. That being said, answer, would I write myself in a list of people I trust? I don't know.
Yeah.
And not because
that's okay.
I don't know if it's because of letting myself down, but it's because, I don't know, folks. I almost don't even want to say, but It's like I'm nasty inside. We're
trust?
nasty inside, and that's
Right.
easy for me to say because I'm saying we, so it's softer.
Right.
But I'm nasty inside,
Yeah.
like the head, the mind.
Well, I think we're all
But
we're all the
that's-
same. So
Well, sir,
that's all I had.
I appreciate your call. Call me again.
Thank you, Nick. Bye.
Maybe the real insanity is that I said I'm nasty inside. Why am I thinking those things about people? You know what's funny? I failed to show you. I just closed something really important. Is my stream still going? I think it is. I failed to show you this though. I showed you that Laura Loomer post, right? She was talking about that OnlyFans model. She's saying she will never be respectable ever. This post got a community notes. This was funny. So, okay, look. Readers added context they thought people might want to know. Laura Loomer is Jewish. Jews and Christians believe in repentance and atonement. In Christianity, atonement is achieved through salvation, the acceptance of Christ, and prayers for forgiveness. Likewise, in Judaism, the main method of atonement is repentance, in parentheses, prayers to God. Now, I don't know who wrote this. Now, I know that the community notes is a function that, lets people add context to posts. They wanted to put this in here. I guess they're just informing Laura Loomer, hey, don't you know that, you can forgive? Is that what this community notes is trying to say? Some of the language here used is also interesting. The fact that they put repentance and prayers to God in parentheses as if they're one and the same. I don't know what to say about that. I wonder what they mean by prayers to God in this confusing time where, you could call yourself many things. You could just say you're a Christian. You could say many things, but what does that mean? What are you working at? What are you saved from? All good questions. But isn't that also interesting? I heard that only Christianity really asks you to repent. So I don't know what they even mean here. They put some quotation. They put some Wikipedia articles in. I was skimming through it when it was talking about atonement for Judaism. There was all this rabbinic. I'm on Wikipedia, right? And there's all this restitution and you look, lashes, service, penance. Not unlike some Christian stuff. Not unlike Christian stuff. Not unlike Catholic stuff. You say this many Hail Marys. It seemed, in my opinion, offerings, sin offerings in the Judaism and even in the Catholic confession. In my opinion, it seemed a little physical, worldly, washing the cup on the outside type of thing, right? It's just what it seems like to me. Interesting that it's even in Christianity. So I'm reading through what this community notes gave, and that's just what I'm gathering. I don't know what they mean by that. Atonement and forgiveness. Could it be it's a lot simpler than y'all think? But hey, interesting community notes, don't you think? Hey, Laura Loomer. Don't you know? What do you think about forgiveness? Anyways, I just thought I found it a pretty interesting community notes there. It's at least got people thinking, right? Okay, we got calls. Hold on here. We got calls, 888-775-3773 if you want to jump on the air there. Let me get to Brett out of Nevada. How you doing, Brett? Appreciate your call. You're on the air.
I'm doing pretty good, Nick. How you doing?
Nice. All is well, sir. Go ahead.
Yeah, so, just kind of throw some perspective on there. What's interesting about and I've thought about this since, I don't know if you heard when people were reporting all of the OnlyFans models to the IRS.
I remember
tax
that.
Credit.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah. And, I think of it
It was
as
if I may describe it, was like a malicious campaign. Some, I don't know what you'd call them, but young individuals
like
on
the
trolling hard, reporting
Yeah.
these. Hey, I don't know if these suddenly wealthy OnlyFans models, if they're very studious and dotted I's and T's on their taxes. I remember that.
Oh yeah.
So go ahead.
They're like flexing with Lamborghinis and stuff like that. And it's like, okay, I don't think you pay taxes.
That's so nasty.
Yeah, no, I know. It was crazy.
But I'm laughing.
Yeah, on one side I feel like I just blame the platform. I go like maybe OnlyFans shouldn't exist as a platform at all. I don't really look at like I try not to blame anything at this point, but like looking at it from the perspective, it's like OnlyFans is enabling like all these young men to basically be chronically depressed online while looking at a woman, right? And I'm married. I want to have kids and stuff like that. And I'm looking toward. I'm staying in the present, but making plans for the future. And I don't think some of the younger people are so much getting out there and doing that because it's like they get their fix as far as relationships go. It's like, oh, I've got a beautiful woman who treats me well, but I'll never meet. And it's like, I guess you could feel sad about it. I think it's sort of ironic in a way that's the current state of affairs, that everything is digital.
Oh, yeah.
So try not to feel any sort of way about it. But even on the front of the OnlyFans model, because I'm kind of like, that's just women out there in general. It's like, maybe they've published that I don't want to use the word whore. I can't think of another word for it, but that they're just not so much...
that they're dressing like slutty?
I mean...
Can I remark on something?
Yeah, please do.
Something that some young ladies are doing and that I've noticed, and I've just recently made this connection, and I need to warn some young ladies out there, and the way you're dressing, I know there's the general like, okay, don't dress slutty, but I made a connection recently, and you got to hear this because some ladies, I don't think they know. You see, in Los Angeles, it's like no laws. There's no cops. There's like no laws. And I come home from a certain direction at a certain time at late. It's not even that late. It'll be 9, 10 o'clock. And on a certain street in LA, ladies of the night start populating the side of the streets. Now I'm wondering, what are all these scantily clad women doing on the side of a street at night, hailing different cars? You see what I'm saying here?
Oh, yeah.
And I'm just saying that I noticed something about the way those women dress and the way some young ladies are dressing. They got those tight bodysuits, the fuzzy slides. That's prostitute garb. I don't know if you realize that. Well, you're wearing...
Yeah, no.
It's not just slutty. It's streetwalker prostitute uniform.
Well, and I commonly make the joke. I have a bunch of buddies on Discord that I'll talk to. And... I commonly make the joke that the only difference between those women and actual hookers is hookers are getting paid. But they're pretty much doing the same thing. They're, going on Tinder or whatever else and, like, meeting all of these guys that, are getting the milk for free. And then it's like, yeah, why would I want a relationship with you? And then they wind up in their 30s, and they're all of a sudden feminists. It's like, oh, I wonder what happened there.
Interesting. So you're married, Brett, if I may ask?
I am.
I mean, I don't want to pry into your life, but that's kind of an interesting topic, don't you think? How long you been married?
About 2 years.
Obviously never feel like...
A little while here.
Never feel like talking about anything you don't want to talk about. How's that going? What's that like for we're talking about marriage a little bit today. Young people are saying it's all difficult. What's been married like 2 years? And you say you listen to Jesse?
Oh, yeah.
How long you been listening by chance, out of curiosity?
Probably about 5 years now.
What's that like?
I mean...
If you can maybe describe that at all.
Working
on yourself, what's life like, getting married?
Well, so when I got married, actually even before I got married, we were watching Jessie Lee day in and day out. And I guess I was being all sneaky and trying to get her to start listening to the show more on her own. And she was like, what did you mean by letting go? I'm like, oh, you don't know what the silent prayer is? You mentioned that. And so she started getting into it. And then by the time she moved in, you know, she got locked in. She's been a blessing on that front. She's been paying attention, you know, doing the silent prayer every day. Every Sunday we watch Jessie Lee. Then we go down to the duck pond and just hang out. It's been a blessing. Super obedient. Yeah.
What's that like? What do you mean by that?
Well, just that, you know, what I say goes. You know, she is very. I don't want to use the word submissive, but that's the word. You know.
Nothing about what Jessie says
like, hey,
rubs her the wrong way.
Well, no, she doesn't mind me saying that. I feel like I might rub you know, your listeners the wrong way, but like man of the house really rings true in this place. So
right on.
Yeah.
Right on, sir.
Trust me to lead, and I feel
2
like
years
I'm doing
was
a
that?
pretty dang good
What
job.
was that like over 2 years? Did it feel fast or did it feel like, what was that like?
You get to a point where you're not counting the days, but it's, you know, obviously I've been just trying to overcome. So
totally.
It's funny because we're both individually not paying so much attention to each other.
Interesting.
But rather what we have to do. So
very interesting.
That's another thing.
Well, wishing you guys well. I gotta ask. I know people are wondering. White babies?
Oh yeah.
White babies. Let's go. Okay, sir, Brett. I appreciate your call. Anything else you want to say before we move the wheels here?
Just for irony's sake, maybe Black Lives Matter, but about that, you know.
Wait, what? You just mess around. I got all confused.
Yeah.
Brett.
You're
Thank
good.
you for your call.
Nick, always wonderful talking to you, man. You guys have a wonderful show. It's been a pleasure spending time talking to all of you guys individually, and you guys are doing God's work, as it were.
Appreciate your call, Brett. Call me again.
Yeah, have a good one.
Nice. Absolutely incredible. (888) 775-3773. If you want to call, you only have a few minutes. I mean, I'm just about to show you a little video. How about we end it off on something here? You know, you got all these people. Like I said, it's a pet topic of mine. I like pointing out false love. And, you know, the world's got plenty of it. They want to say, you got to love the refugees. But the refugees, they need help. They need help. They need clothes. They need, I don't know, they need, oh, hold on. See if I can get this going. Headphones, HDMI, because I want to show you something going on in the UK. And it's similar things going on here. You know about a lot of this already. Boom. Oh, no. I must have messed up something. Folks, my apologies, you know. I was doing some work in the studio. And I may have disconnected something here. That is my fault, obviously. Maybe I haven't muted on the board. This is strange. I shouldn't do this, but I'm going to run over there and look. Folks, I did. I think this is a good sign because I could show you the video I wanted to show you. Look, let's... Praying it works. Look, I got 4 minutes. Oh, man. I don't think it did. One last thing I could try.
Your home.
Yes, we got audio. I'm going to show you the video. Would you take a refugee into your home? This one man is going around somewhere asking these English-sounding people who are holding signs that say, refugees welcome here, say it loud, say it clearly. He's asking them a little question.
Of course not. Only problem is I rent.
You rent?
Yeah.
Maybe an issue?
Yeah, because they've got, well, they've put 9 bedrooms in a 4-bedroom house, so we're pretty much jam-filled.
So, to actually adopt a refugee and take them into your home?
Well, if I had any space, I would.
If you had any space.
It wouldn't be
right.
a nice place to bring them because it's a bit overcrowded.
Right.
But yes, if I had the space, definitely.
Oh, if you had the space, love. Oh, love.
For that, love. Pop one into your home?
I live in a rental place, so I can't.
Rental?
Yeah.
You can't do it?
Yeah.
It's a rental, mate. I can't take any anchor babies. It's a rental, mate.
Yeah.
No, I'm sorry, I can't.
You can't take one?
I don't have a space.
Don't have the space? You have a refugee stay at your house?
Yeah, I don't mind.
You go on the list?
I don't mind, yeah, I can take, give me the thing. Oh wait, I can't, because my house is only a little small.
Oh.
Amazing. Now, would you be willing to have a refugee?
All of a sudden.
Yes, if I had room. If you had room, it's funny that. To adopt a refugee?
No, thank you.
No, thank you. Any reason in particular?
I don't. What sort of refugee are you talking about?
What sort of refugee? Maybe you don't understand her accent. She's saying, he's like, you're not going to get on the list. You don't want to. It's funny that. It's funny that. She's like, I don't know what type of What do you mean, what type of refugee, lady? Hold up. Somebody get the FBI equivalent over there, MI something, and investigate this domestic terrorist. What do you mean, what kind of refugee?
No, thank you.
No, thank you. Any reason in particular?
I don't. What sort of refugee are you talking about?
Excuse me, would you be willing to adopt a refugee into your home?
No.
No.
No. No.
Would you adopt a refugee into your home?
No, thank you.
No? Adopt a refugee?
I would be willing, yeah, if I had the space.
If you had the space?
Yeah.
So, where should we put them then?
Where should we put them?
Yeah.
There's plenty of people who have done it. Who are you?
It sounded like he was about to say there's plenty of people, so saying other people, but I don't think he gets to finish his statement. It almost sounds like he's saying there's plenty of other, like, English people. Not me, somebody else, though.
There's plenty of people who have done it. Who are you, mate?
My name's Jim, who are you?
My name's Alistair. I'm already adopted a refugee, thanks.
What does racism mean to you?
It means...
To you. So he sounds maybe Australian, actually. But I needed to show you that because it was just an amazing little video. It says it all there. Shallow people everywhere. This works for every complaint, says Anonymous. Yeah. I mean, it speaks for itself. I just need to show you that. Nick, do the British accent for the rest of the show. I don't think I can. Now that you asked me, I can't. Go out humbly, Nick. Anyways, folks, that's the show. I hope you enjoyed it. Join me tomorrow for more American Anchor Baby. As we do, I got more show for you. Noon Pacific time. Don't miss Country Western Tuesday on the Jesse Lee Peterson Show. The Hake Report at 9 a.m. Pacific time. And Joel Friday on Tuesday at 11 a.m. Folks, that's the show. Appreciate it so much. But that's it for me. Take care. See you tomorrow.